Ashes 2063 is a post-apocalyptic total conversion mod for Doom 2, but to say that it's just a mod is doing it a tremendous disservice. Ashes 2063 is an incredible FPS experience and one of my favorite games. I haven't been this immersed in a game since my first playthrough of Hollow Knight. Ashes sports an entirely new set of weapons, enemies, maps, and textures, a new heads-up display and user interface, an all-new currency, towns, and NPCs, a rideable motorcycle, and an amazing original soundtrack. I mean, just look at this. The combat in Ashes is so much fun. It retains the speed and strategy of classic Doom, but with an added layer of depth and a slew of new weapons to play around with. Keeping with the post-apocalyptic theme, ammunition is often scarce, requiring you to count your bullets and frequently switch weapons to conserve ammo. Each weapon has a purpose. The revolver can pick off enemies from afar, the shotgun is great for close-range corridor shooting, and the Uzi can clear out large groups of enemies with ease. There are quite a few new enemies in Ashes, and each one attacks in different ways, much like the original Doom. Bandits harass you from afar with high damage bullets, and mutant cannibals attack you with sickles, but the different enemy factions will infight if you provoke them, allowing you to conserve ammo and health. Ashes is a hard game, even on the easiest difficulty. Enemies hit hard, health is hard to come by, and ammunition is scarce. It might seem impossible when you first start playing, but once you get the hang of the resource management and situational adaptation, you'll come to appreciate Ashes' satisfying and challenging combat. For me, the gameplay is mostly memorable because of the locations where it happens. There are some very unique levels in this game. Even though every section sticks to the general post-apocalypse theme, they never feel samey. You'll wade through flooded tunnels, explore abandoned shopping malls, and raid repurposed bandit hideouts. Some levels are brimming with radioactivity, so you'll have to keep track of your Geiger counter and reduce your exposure to the sky. Other levels are dark and require careful use of your lantern. Between levels, you can visit small settlements which allow you to restock on supplies and converse with the residents and shopkeepers. There is a surprising amount of thought and personality put into these characters, and exploring all the dialogue options was one of my favorite parts of Ashes. The music is really what pulls all this together. The combat, exploration, and interaction with NPCs are all accompanied by a fantastic original soundtrack. Each level and situation is perfectly represented by a music track which evokes precisely the feeling the developer intended. Some tracks are filled with foreboding, dreadful, and oppressive atmospheres, while others pump you up with catchy synthwave rhythms. This makes for a unique and cohesive soundtrack that just takes the game above and beyond. The only thing I don't like about Ashes 2063 are the motorcycle sections. Riding a motorcycle through an irradiated nuclear wasteland sounds awesome, but the bike handles so poorly that these sections are more frustrating than they are enjoyable. These should be parts of the game you can blaze through at Mach speed, but they end up feeling slower than the regular game. Plus, you can take a large amount of damage every time you run into a wall, meaning you're bound to be underprepared for the fight ahead and have to repeat the entire motorcycle section again when you die. That being said, this small gripe is such a minor complaint that pales in comparison to everything else Ashes gets right. The gameplay is fantastic, the story is engaging, the levels are memorable, the atmosphere is thick, and the soundtrack is incredible. I give Ashes 2063 a 5 out of 5 and a glowing recommendation. Thanks for watching my review of Ashes 2063. If you like what you saw and want to see more, hit the like button and consider subscribing. I'll make sure to create a review for Ashes Afterglow in the future. Thanks.